Hey, Bobby, look, I'm American.
I think I'll use my credit card. Do you guys have anything non-dairy? Anything gluten-free?
Welcome, everybody, to the Plumes of Hazard. I, as always, am your host, the Angstful Vapor. Here to my left, as always, is the lovely and talented Fubaka.
Bye.
Ooh, tasty. Slash. I
Sriracha.
am actually somewhat jealous. I haven't had a Guinness in quite some time. I haven't had a beer in quite some time, for that matter. Sounds good.
Well, it's a good thing that my last trip to Costco on President's Day picked up a 24-pack of Guinness. I started stocking again. I was very happy.
24-pack on President's Day? Isn't that like in January?
February.
I guess that's a reasonable amount of time to still have some then.
Had a little bit of overflow, goddammit.
You have to deal with the cascade, that's for sure.
It depends. Sometimes if I pour it, it's a little excessively foamy if it overflows. Sometimes if I foam it just right, it'll just round out the very top of the mug.
You depend on that meniscus just a little bit.
You gotta.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. You need a Chris Angel intro?
No. No. You're looking at me, Chad. Actually, I forgot to pull that up.
Oh yeah, I actually did pull it up today. I got logged in on my streaming PC, so I can share. Bink. There you go. I will go ahead and yeah, nicely done. I will go ahead and cop to possibly buying Diet Coke on a sequential trip to the grocery store. As you can see over there, it's I'm well stocked for a while. I didn't really need to get.
That's like what, a week?
That's at least 2 weeks. Probably more like 3. Because I usually, that's a good question. I haven't actually thought about my consumption in a while. I'm usually between 3 and 4 a day. That's about right. 3 and 4 a day.
I had my 5-pound bag of coffee show up on Monday. I was very ecstatic.
Dude.
It didn't, like, my mail didn't show up until like 4:35, which is like usually past my coffee drinking hours. I didn't give a fuck. I made a pour over. I was up till like 2 in the morning and felt like shit working from home that next day.
Yeah.
Which was yesterday, actually. Yeah.
They do. I did get a text from a buddy of mine who is a teacher, and he teaches at a high school near here, and he said, just so you know, guys, it's Wednesday, in case anybody lost track. I'm like, dude, I'm non-essential. I'm an optional human. I bless you. I'm an optional human. I said, today's just a Wednesday for me. It's just normal work.
Yeah. You know what is nice though? Working from home is my work phone right now is my cell phone. You know what my cell phone doesn't do? It doesn't ring when I'm already on the fucking line. It's so nice because when you're at your desk on the phone and like you see all the other. It's really weird the way it works. Some days like we'll go like an hour or two, right? We'll just be dealing with emails, no calls. And like one call will happen, I'll pick it up, right? As soon as I pick it up and I'm saying hello, all through their lives start going off at once with completely different shit. I'm like, I don't have to deal with that at home. I'm kind of glad I don't. Like, we've bottlenecked the bullshit.
Were you being somewhat facetious when they all lit up, or is that just how the call waiting works on your telephone?
No. Sometimes that shit just happens.
Okay.
It's happened like a handful of times.
Yeah, horror optional human. By that I mean a friend of mine sent out a list of all of the essential people, right? And it was grocery store workers and truck drivers and healthcare workers and that kind of thing. My job was not on that list at all. So I have now dubbed myself an optional human.
Well, what you do isn't necessarily like direct day-to-day support, right? Like that in this instance would be more needed.
Absolutely, for sure. I was just going to show you this too. I got my purple stash shirt on. I haven't worn a non-Duro shirt on the show in a while. But I thought it might be a good thing to do. What with all the things.
Duro said Fu may have COVID, yeah, but you know what I don't have? The Dakota's mod.
Which is almost as bad. I do. I've got one. Where is it? Actually, I don't even know where it is. I put it away. I'm not using it. I do like it.
Oh shit, Rob Key in the house.
Oh shit. Oh,
they closed his office. That's why he's home.
That's right. So, specifically for Rob, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. In fact, I think it was the week that it was just myself when I was traveling and it was only me. Rob says it's hard to hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. Fu, can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're saying on their end I'm louder than you are.
So I'll turn you down a little bit.
Ring, ring, ring.
Oh,
ring, ring.
Hello.
Banana phone.
Hello, banana phone. So,
Massey cut the beard short in anticipation. That's just going to grow out. He's going to look like the wizard at the beginning of fucking Zelda.
My barber closed down, man. So
I know. I too. You boy.
I was actually going to comment on your slick ass hair there, Fu. You've definitely got.
Well, I did shower like an hour ago and change, so the hair did get a wash.
Well, it looks like you got some soul glow in it though too.
De-COVID it.
I do put oil in my hair and natural juices and berries.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back what I was talking about. So Rob Key just logged in. So I don't think he was there that week when I was talking about it. So I'm going to mention, I replaced my coil in my Narier, and I was trying to remember the last time I actually replaced it because it's been a long time. I was like, it's had to have been a year, right? So right before I left on my trip a couple weeks ago, I rebuilt it, and I was trying to find a coil, and I finally found a Rob coil with the legs the right way. I think I've only got one or two of them that with the legs the right way, but it was like a 3.5 millimeter coil. I was like, oh shit! So I got a one of the Mod Maker build rods out, and basically held it in place and just yanked it and just tightened it down to 3 millimeter. Got it installed and put it together, and as I was starting to break it in, I went and looked, and I got the EA literally a year ago. So I have been running that same coil in here for a year. And it's been fine until recently. That's why all of a sudden it started tasting a little funky, and it was a little bit worse for wear flavor-wise, so I went ahead and replaced it. But, so thanks Rob. That shit lasts me a long time. Top of the morning to Markski.
Speaking of which, I got some coils in from Rob the other day.
Oh shit, you got some new ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, why did I open the sound settings? I'm going to open my camera thing so I can focus.
Do I need to get some more? I need some more cable. Sorry, I just moved the mic. If that bothered anybody. Nice. That's a lot of raps.
So these are 20 what?
That's a lot of wraps on those.
These are a little big for the Nards, but I've been managing. The ramp is a little bit slower than the last set.
This one is, yeah, these
Well,
are
that's
too.
fine because I take long ass pulls anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't bother me either.
He sent me. So he sent me like way more than I bargained for. So thank you very much, Rob. So he made me 2738s and 2740s.
Yeah, coil hygiene. So Horror is talking about coil. So what I've been doing, and I actually started doing this because of Foo several years ago. When I dry burn, I used to dry burn and then try to clean, and then I bought some wire brushes and I used to clean them, pulse it clean and then wire brush, and Foo quenches his, and I started doing that and it works great. I mean, the coil lasted a year.
No, basically I dry burn the ever loving shit out of it for the most part, and then while it's still hot, you need very delicately, unscrew it and you run it under the water with a brush. While the shit's all warm and all that, you can get it off real easy.
Oh, dude, I just put the whole thing straight in the water.
Well, the thing is, I want to get in there with a brush, and I don't want to run the risk of getting my mod wet.
Oh yeah, I run the brush.
That's why I just unscrew it and then
I'm a multi-step process. I do the quench.
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes depending, I feel like having fun. I'm just like, hey.
Yeah, that's all I do, and then I brush it off, and then, by the way, I know I talked about this like a couple of months ago, but these sons of bitches from Daiso are exactly what I was talking about. These things are amazing for cleaning out addies.
Dude, because the NAR addies are dick to clean. They really are.
For sure.
I took mine apart because mine had been sitting with like a little bit of juice because you remember one of my mesh wicks had fallen in. But then I got lazy and I've been vaping nothing but salts would last like X amount of months. And so what I ended up doing, so I finally, I hit up Rob, asked him to make us some coils. So much thank you for coming through in the clutch. Got the coils in. Leading up to that, Axial notes I documented in their Slack. I couldn't get the fucking notes up. It took me I went at it while I was working, right? Off and on. If I wasn't doing anything, I'd go. Because ultimately my biggest challenge was getting
the glass off, yeah.
I took everything else off. Like I took I took the coil out and took out the screws. Need to get this fucking thing out. So it was to the point where like my forearm was very strained. Like I had a hard time like in the kitchen later, like just holding my cast iron skillet. It was so tired of just trying to turn this thing off. And and that was the thing. And I was, when at like the first time around, I was at it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then was that yesterday or was it whichever day I drank the coffee? So it was Monday. Because I was up late. And then it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I'm still up from coffee. So it's like, all right, let's fucking do this. So I finally, and I was doing this with the rubber grips, mind you. I still couldn't get it off. Finally. The person I got it from, I don't think they ever took it apart either because there was like literally O-ring residue on the glass. Like by the time I finally got it off, it was basically glued on there. And took it apart, cleaned it, like gave it a good brushing, got all the little, because there are a lot of little fucking nooks and corners.
There's all
and
sorts of nooks and crannies in an RADdy.
So you may wonder, there are like parts I couldn't like straight get in there. So you know what I had to do to get certain angles? I had to go. I'd already at this point already taken off the center post. I stuck the brush in the center post and bent it at an angle to get like other shit.
Yeah.
It was fucking silly.
That's what you got to do, man. And if you can,
she's up and running and she's fucking chugging.
If you can make it to your Daiso out there, get those things. You're gonna love the shit out of those things for cleaning addies.
And yeah, the other thing is with coils and brushing and all that, the fuse Claptons and all that shit, they generally, when they're made with good wire, they last longer than like a regular macro coil.
Oh yeah.
Don't ask me. That's just my observation.
No, for sure. And Rob, to his credit, so he's just talking about he does use that kidney puncher wire. I mean, that's real Sandvik shit, right? I mean, that's the real stuff. It's good stuff. For sure. So when I had my coil out again for the first time in a year, the underneath my directly underneath my coil, which is where you cannot get when there's a coil in there on the NAR addies, it was pretty bad. It was definitely stained. It took several Q-tips and scrubbing to get it out of there. I mean, Railcracker is relatively clean, but when you talk about a year of a lot of e-liquid,
You know what I do sometimes in between? Because I want to have to take the thing apart properly every time between relicking. So depending how like dirty I start to notice getting, I just give it a little soak in ISO.
sure.
Just to keep the buildup, just kind of slow the buildup, if you will, because snowdrift is normally a clean liquid. When I used to vape it like on a 0.1, it was a fairly clean liquid. In a Naradi's make most juices dirty. So,
They're very concentrated. They're very hot.
yeah, there's small chamber, lots of flavor, lots of density, so shit's gonna build up. And I have a pretty fucking beefy coil in here as it is.
Yeah. Wait, Festa, you talk about the Q-tips? I'm sorry. I can't help it. I found a really cool thing. I can't help the fact that the Japanese dollar store goes all over California, all over Texas, and one in New York, and that's it in the entire country. I can't help it. I don't know.
Where's the one in New York?
I don't know. I looked it up, but there is one in New York city area. I just don't know what borough it is offhand.
What's the name of the store?
Daiso, D-A-I-S-O. Daiso. But you do have one near you. Masty, unfortunately, I do not believe it has one.
Dude, it is near me.
No, I think
It is near me. It's like
I think the closest one is Texas, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
It's a 15-minute disease-riddled bus ride there.
Yeah.
No, straight up, the bus that's right across the street from my place is able to take me
I
there.
don't doubt that at all. That's what I was thinking. I thought it had to be relatively close to you.
No, because it's in Flushing. If it wasn't in Flushing, then I would think it would have been like downtown.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't downtown. I knew it wasn't near your old place, but I knew it was closer to you. Where
Yeah.
you are now.
Okay. Yeah. It's by the Target. Cool.
Yeah. It's next to China.
I like that neighborhood.
For sure.
Some of the finest food in all Queens you can get in Flushing.
Next time, when this whole pandemic dies down, so to speak, I will go.
I'm going on
Daiso.
fucking vacation. That's what I'm doing.
Huh?
I'm going on fucking vacation. That's what I'm doing.
When I am able to get out and go in there, maybe I will ask them if they have like a case, and I can distribute them to everybody. The mooch. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it's the battery.
Theoretically, how many of them could you fit in a little like letter envelope?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, this quarantine's really got people coming back, huh? You don't need us until the fucking world is ending.
They got nothing better to do.
Master cue the music is what Rob says. Battery mooch is in the house.
Battery mooch music has dust on it right now.
Chat link.
I got you.
Yeah, okay, you got it. So, I mean, how many can you fit it? I'm talking about.
No, I sent that to you.
If I mail these things out, they're coming in like something more substantial than an envelope.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I'll buy a pack and I'll split it up. Like,
yeah,
I'll subsidize the cost of like a sleeve of stamps.
Those are the best to use because the ends don't get all hairy.
Right.
So when you're cleaning like a lens and stuff like that, oh man, that'd be.
What they are really bad at, by the way.
That's why I want them actually, is to clean up my camera shit, so I don't use as much compressed air.
Yeah.
What's that?
What they're really bad at, by the way, is cleaning out your ears. They're shit at cleaning out your ears.
Well, I don't put Q-tips in my ears anymore.
Every now and then, I still need to because I get some buildup. For sure.
Yeah, it works its way out.
Sometimes I get extra.
Let's say your fingers are too sausagey to pick anything out.
That too.
Yeah, no, I had an ear problem a little while back, and it was it's led to some excessive production of junk in my ears sometimes, and you're right. Most of the time, it doesn't work its way out, but sometimes it doesn't. And I tried using those things. Not good for that. It's fantastic for other things, but not so much everywhere else. Or it sounds like drug dealing now. Yeah. You know what's kind of crappy now that you mention it? This is a really like shit form factor for shipping. Like, because you can't put it in like you'd have to take it out of the container.
You can't put it in a first class envelope.
Yeah.
You know what? I could probably put a couple of them in one of the bubble mailers. Or those little Tyvek ones or whatever that are real papery.
No, basically, you'd have to pour them into a bubble mailer. fucking retarded, and some of them might break in shipping.
No, I think if I did it, I would have to do them in just the whole thing in a bone mailer. That's all there is to it. Because otherwise, you miss out on the.
No, you do. You know those Q-tip traveling cases.
Yeah, they probably have those there too. Yeah,
that you can ship, no
that
problem.
You could ship. You're right. You were right. Battery Mooch, it's good to see you, buddy. I was watching an video, excuse me, a little while back, and he mentioned you again about the douche fluting. Speaking of YouTubers, by the way, I've been watching Big Clive. I don't know if you watch Big Clive or not, but Masty probably does. You probably know who Big Clive is, right? He's like an electronics wiring, soldering, modding kind of guy. I think he specializes in lighting, but
I'd have to see his face to see.
You rarely see his face. It's almost always just his hands. But when he does show his face, he's this giant Scottish man with this ridiculous beard goatee thing. That's like it's just the goatee, but it's like down to his sternum.
Oh yeah. BigClive.com.
Yeah, Big Clive.
Okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He's done videos with other people too.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been around for a long time and he's done a lot of stuff. Anyway, so he was talking recently about I was watching him take apart a fog machine, and in the fog machine video he started talking about vaping. It was awesome. I was like, and he actually knows what he was talking about. He's like, this is how e-liquid works. This is how propylene glycol works. This is not the stuff that's in NA freeze or whatever. Like all of our normal sorts of things that we try to explain, he actually talked about it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Big Clive, he might have the best voice. He's got a fantastic voice. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Festy, I don't know how many the thing holds because the only wrapping that was on this thing was the same thing that was wrapping all of it. So like when you take off the lid, you take off everything. So I don't know how many are in there. Probably a couple hundred. Guessing. But yeah, no, Big Clive has a great voice, and I was always kind of confused because he sounds Scottish, but I knew he wasn't in Scotland. Come to find out, I watched a few more of his videos and I kind of pieced together he's on the Isle of Man.
Apparently he does vape.
I've seen him vape on the as a joke before, but I didn't know if he actually vaped.
No, he says Rob Wiggle says he has videos taking apart mods.
No shit. Oh, I didn't know that, Rob. All right, well, there you go. I saw him. He was taking apart it was a gag video where he had a Scottish.
Oh well, apparently he is an occasional vapor, but still, that's cool if he takes apart mods.
That is cool. I want to go see him take apart one of the dangerous ones, right? Because that's one of his are his best videos. Is when he's taking apart.
He's got a video of free lithium cells from discarded vapor devices.
Yeah, I mean he's taken 18650s to pieces. Unwound the interior stuff or whatever. One time he had his what does he call it, the thermonuclear bomb-proof pie plate. I forget what he calls it, but he's got a pie plate that he takes apart stuff that could blow up in.
Dude, you know what I want to do? I want to take an axe and chop a 650 straight in half.
He takes it apart with a pair of pliers.
Oh no, see that's too time consuming. I would just take an axe and wedge it between two things and then just go.
It would probably be fine. He's taken apart several that I saw, and only one of them caught on fire spontaneously. The other ones were just like, he's like...
Well, that's why I would do it. I think like just it getting cut with a blade really quickly could spark some shit. I don't know.
You had to search
this is what I missed about my... This is what I had.
Josh? That sucks.
Testing USA MRE 16 chicken burrito.
Yeah.
So he even does MRE.
So he did the gag thing I was talking about. Is he took apart a Scottish Army MRE, and he started pulling him out, and it was like a giant bottle of whiskey and like this chocolate bar, and then another thing of biscuits.
So straight up.
Did he pull a sheep out of it?
He did not pull a sheep. That's the Welsh.
So straight up.
That's what a Scotsman would say.
Yeah, that's positive. Anyway, it's good to see you, Mooch. I'm glad you're still around. We've been talking about you a few times, trying to figure out we need to get you back on because I've got a new battery charger, Mooch. I got the Xtar X4. It does 2 amperes for the charging, and it's good. And it tells you how many mods go back into it. It's so good. But I'm really glad that came up. I've got another thing to talk about. Sorry, go ahead, Massey.
So Anxie, I was scrolling down and I saw this snip. Who does that look like in that? Another fellow mod maker. All of a sudden I had to like look twice to see.
No shit, that it does. It looks like
Come on.
oh god. Oh, it's gonna kill me. I like the guy too.
Oh, Lance? Is that
no,
Lance?
not Lance.
No.
No, the British, the Brit. He's
Yeah. Come on.
oh god. Dude, I'm drawing a total blank. I know exactly what you're talking about. He powder coats all his shit. He's got great hammer tones.
Oh, Nigel.
Nigel.
That's
Nigel,
right.
there you go.
Nigel.
I knew I was trying to
Yeah,
come,
I was just
come up with his name.
If he had a bit of hair, he'd be vaping biker.
No. Nigel, come on. We know Nigel is future green. So we've already proven that.
All right.
Green.
It is. We've already proven that. I'm not going to do that to him
No,
again.
because Nigel
He's
didn't
a
have
good
his
guy.
neck blasted.
Yeah.
His throat.
Yeah, but that's because he went back. He went back in time and told the right Green, don't do that
Don't
shit.
get your neck blasted all day at a fair or whatever it was.
He
Right?
told the right Grim Green.
Yeah. So that's how he kept the clean.
Did he also go back and tell the right Grim Green not to wear eye makeup in his first YouTube video?
Oh boy. I'm not gonna go there.
Dude, the neck blasting thing is something I will never forget. It's one of the funniest things that anybody has ever accidentally said.
Yeah, I said my friend just sat me down. He's blasted my throat, and I'm like, well,
Blast his throat all day at a fair or something, right? It's like,
it was I think it was at a music festival. Like one of his tattoo artist friends was
yeah.
doing tats there.
What was I getting? Oh, I was gonna talk to Mooch about this charger. So this charger, which I've shown you last week, one thing I forgot to tell you that is irritating about it. So I know Mooch, by the way. Mooch says that the number of milliamps that go back into a cell, that little counter, is not terribly accurate. That's probably true, but it is a good metric for me because that gives me a good handle.
So I didn't actually get 2,900 mile earlier. I didn't actually get 2,900 mile.
No,
earlier?
probably not, because it's not perfectly accurate, but it is a good yardstick, I think, because it gives me a good idea of the health of my cells. But anyway, the thing that kills me about this one, first of all, the good things is it does 2 amps, which is nice. Whoa, what the what is that?
Sorry to interrupt, but Jay posted that in our Discord, and I just wrote, some
What
people just
kind
want to
of
watch the world
maniac?
burn. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Did COVID do that?
No, boredom.
Mm.
It looks like it was done with an X-Acto knife. Not neatly, but the nerve of some fucking people. Like, I'll admit I don't break them off perfectly, but I still eat them the right fucking way.
Not like a savage.
Okay?
Not out of the middle and not even along the little seams anywhere close.
I bet you that person takes like 5 or 6 bites to eat a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
Do you take 5 or 6 bites? It's usually like 2 for me.
I think it's been a long time since I had one, but I feel like it was 3. I think I did it in 3s. Yeah. No, it's not. It's
Like a
4. I used to do it in
fucking
quarters. It was quadrants. That's what it was. Yeah,
When I'm driving, I just throw them in whole.
here's the thing: is I like the texture of the snappy chocolate on the outside, like the outside rim, you know, the border, so to speak, and then the soft on the inside, right? So I like having 4 bites of that. That's why instead of just.
I just like having an orgy of all of that. Just
In your
Hey,
mouth.
Mooch has got me. He says
it's a party in my
3.
mouth.
Josh says,
And the wise words of Ken Griffey Jr. on The Simpsons, it's a party in my mouth, and everyone's invited.
everybody's coming. Mm-hmm.
And everybody done spent.
I have also not had tuna casserole in a long time. Okay, wait. Well, Mooch is here. I got to talk about this charger. So, balls. I didn't even think about having this at a long enough cord so I could show you. This thing, when you've got a battery and charging, it counts up the milliamps that are going back in it, and obviously gives you a voltage reading, right? When you throw a cell in there. And it tells you how many amps it's charging it at. Depending on what slot it is, it changes. Here's the thing that's weird about this particular one that is not the case on the VC4, which I used for a really long time. This thing has not only the voltage and the milliamp hours, it also has a gauge, and it goes from what, 0, right? 0 to 100%. So if you put it in there at 3.5 volts, and I need to go back because I was talking Festy like through this, like I was like live blogging at him on Messenger, but it seems to have no bearing on what actually is charged in it. Like you can throw it in there at 3.5 volts, and it goes up to 20%, and then it goes up to all the way up, charges up to 4 volts, and it still says like 60%. And then at 4 point, it was like 4.15. It was still at 60 or 70% or something like that. It was crazy. Like it didn't make any damn sense at all. I don't know why there's a 0 to 100% gauge on something that already has the voltage on it. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't get it. In fact, now that I say that, I kind of want to go find our conversation. Unfortunately, it was several days ago, so I don't know how far back that is. But I'm going to go look for it because I'm curious about the values. All right. Here's Messenger. Here's Festy.
I just asked Biggles how many bites. He said 2 to 3 typically, sometimes 1.
Way to go.
You
gotta go far back. Fantastic. Battery Mooch agrees. Charger percentage displays are stunningly useless. I completely agree. Completely agree. All right. Let's see. Here we go. One thing that I did think was interesting while I'm getting this, I actually sent him a couple screenshots of the manual. The manual specifically mentions vaping for a battery charger, which I thought was somewhat unusual, right? I mean, it's nothing specific about vaping with 18650s, right?
He told me his answer, and then of course he had to go and overexpand on it.
Aldi's better than the OG? What? I have to admit I've not tried Aldi branded cups, peanut butter cups.
Aldi branded?
I guess.
So
do I have Aldi's near me? I don't think I do.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a screenshot that I sent him. I've got 4 cells in there. They're all being charged at the same time. The 2 that are currently under monitoring says 4.14, 4.15 volts, and they're at 60%, both of them. It's the strangest thing.
Oh, fuck that. I am not going there.
Yeah, I agree, Mooch. That's why I don't understand. Yeah, I thought you might think that was interesting just because it's so weird. Because as much as I know about batteries, which is obviously nothing compared to yours, but I do know that batteries, the majority of their charge is, way on the bottom end, right? That last bit that goes from 4.15 to 4.2, not a whole lot more power is going into it, right? To finally peak it up to 4.2. So that last bit's a trickle charge and it's going slowly. So you would think if it was fine enough grain, it was not so coarse. It was only go by 20% or whatever. It would be up to 95%, where that was, but it was down to 60. It was so weird. Just strange.
So I found there's one Aldi in NYC. I found it. A fucking hike.
What?
The closest Aldi to me.
East Harlem.
Yeah, next to the highway. Because there are 2 highways in Manhattan that are on the opposite ends.
Where's the gentrified part? Is that all of it now?
It's all over here.
Gotcha.
Like this is Harlem. This is more or less all gentrified. But anyway, so Aldi's here, and like say this were in regular life, and I'm still working in the office. I work like here, and this shit is like a hike to go there
on the island.
Because the thing is, so the furthest east, so I'm trying to think, how far north can you get on the subway on 2nd Avenue? I think it's 96th Street. Even from 96th Street. So you're probably better off having to hike it from 110th over Or no, you can go to 116th, but you have to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 avenues over.
Yikes!
Or of course you could just drive.
Yeah, I mean five avenues is a bit of a hike.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if it's warm out or cold out or something. If the weather.
It's right next to the highway. Yeah, it's right next to the highway though.
Yeah.
So that part of it kind of makes it a more attractive, like drive in, get out. You could make this happen at the right hour.
Now, are you talking about the Aldi? Or are you talking about the Daiso?
Oh no, Daiso. I mean, Daiso, I can go when shit dies down in general. It's like a short bus ride for me. Yeah, no, Daiso is like, I guess it's 15 minutes in the bus. This is, this takes a little bit of planning.
Yeah, I would think so. Looks like it. Better with a bus, he says. Yeah, I agree. And the last thing about the charger thing, the other thing I was thinking about, what I was theorizing when I stuck those batteries in there, I figured it measured, okay, this battery's at 3.5 volts and needs to go to 4.2, so it's going to give you a percentage of how far to get there, right? Versus dead charge. Because, in theory, what's that supposed to be, like around 40% at 3.5 volts? In theory, it would start at 40% and go to 100%. But it would be kind of neat if it did a little quick maths and start at 3.5 and it just knew it needed to go 0.7 volts, right? And it just gave you a percentage of that you're going up. That might be kind of an interesting little metric. But anyway, that was a piece of vaping news. The other thing I was going to mention, so I'm sure you guys have heard about the press is jumping on the hate vaping bandwagon again now with all the Chicken Little sky is falling COVID junk. I do have a link that I can show you. One of the ones that came up recently. Here, I'll put the link in chat. These guys asking is there actually a link between vaping and coronavirus? So I mean, basically, this thing is, it's ridiculous. It was like, at least they call it speculation, but they keep talking about how these young people that are getting hospitalized. Here it is, the same population known for vaping. Okay, the same population known for lots of things. For example, like that. What was that thing we did the other day? The thing that Masty, I think, was talking about the other day. Didn't you post a link to that video of all the spring breakers saying we're gonna party no matter what, right?
Oh, well, yeah, and it was the corona. If I get corona, I get corona.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care about any of these government rules. We're gonna have spring break. Woo! Those are the same people you're talking about. It's because of vaping, right? No, it's not because of vaping. It's because people are stupid. That's like their job, is to be dumb. These people drawing these ridiculous sorts of linkings. Yeah, Rob, absolutely. Oh, speaking, and we were just talking about Big Clive when he was talking about he was talking about vaping in that Fogger video. He was talking about how he fails to see any significant risk with vaping and he went through all the normal ingredients that we normally use, and then he's like the only thing I could possibly see that might be a problem is the slight edge that you have from inhaling something that is somewhat antibacterial. He said the only thing I can possibly think of is when you stop vaping, maybe you're slightly more prone to getting sick because you don't have that constant inhaling of propylene glycol. I was like, I don't know if I can buy that, but at the same time I thought it was an interesting point, not one that I've heard anybody make yet. What is that? Oh.
Did you see the notification we got on the
meeting
on the Zoom? Yeah.
So I've been using
What
Zoom.
did it say?
I didn't initiate it. Just some of the various groups and stuff that I'm involved in my personal life. Some of those guys have been using Zoom, and they have been extending that time for free, even for non-pro users, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did. They got such an onslaught that they had to limit the external call-in numbers. So they're urging people to use the VoIP instead of the actual, phone calling numbers.
If you've got a mic and a or even a camera, it works great. The voice over IP thing is fine. I haven't had a problem with it.
Yeah.
So I pulled a bit of tomfoolery today in a Zoom call for work. It wasn't like a meeting with my own department. It was like a tutorial about some of the Sony software.
Okay.
Some of like their web shit. And so I was ghosting for a bit, and then I cammed up with OBS, and I did like a cutout background of like a tropical. I think I saw it, and whoever was in charge of the call just turned off my video like that. Had like 40 people in the call. Because Rayon did that for his Apple WebEx the other day, but it didn't fly with my meeting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try it again at some point.
I think you have to have peas in tuna casserole, don't you? Isn't that? It's like the rules.
It's not necessary, but I don't mind them.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. I think it's the rules.
I've had corn tuna casserole.
Corn chicken. I don't know about corn and tuna casserole.
It worked. It was weird, but it worked.
All right. I mean, it can't be bad. Corn's pretty good.
Corn's pretty good. Like, I don't like it. Like when I go to Chipotle or something, I used to get corn. I don't get corn.
No, I don't get corn in a burrito. No. Mm-mm.
I mainly because I don't like the corn they use. They use the white corn.
No, I have to say though, where I'm originally from in South Alabama, they obviously have normal yellow corn down there, but they've got a particular species called Silver Queen, and man, it's white corn, and man, it is good when it's fresh. If you can find it like in a farmer's market or on a stand on the side of the road, that kind of thing. Holy crap, Silver Queen is so good, man. Oh man, I haven't thought about Silver Queen in a long time.
Is it sweet?
Yeah, it's super sweet.
This is the one that I like right here.
Dude, that little kid and that maid or whoever that comes snatches the kid, drags him out.
This is the one I like right there, where the kid's just like.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to get that. I need to use that next time.
Yeah. I mean, you can make it better with mannequin, but yeah, that's a good one there, where you're just like.
And he's like all defeated too. He kind of goes.
He's just like. And she doesn't give a shit. She's just like la 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 la. She comes up and he's like.
I have like a green screen tarp. I have a green screen tarp. I need to find.
The best is when the other one in the freaking walker just pushes the door open and comes in, and then here comes the maid like sliding in and goes, pulls everybody out. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, the defeated like shoulder sag is what gets me every time. He's kind of
he's like
the nanny's gonna get fired. Oh man, crazy. Or are you camping? Tuna casserole's a drag. I can't disagree. Tuna casserole is kind of a drag.
Rather have sushi. Sushi's kind of gotten cheapened over the years too.
It has gotten a little less special for sure.
Like Thai right now, or at least Thai the last handful of years is basically what like sushi was when it exploded, in my opinion. But like, these days my go-to, I'd rather have A, Korean barbecue, B, Korean wings, and beer, than sushi. Korean wings
they're pretty good. I agree.
They're tops for me, man.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Although Korean food is not my favorite. I think it would choose a lot of things before Korean food. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite.
Well, Korean barbecue, like bulgogi, rice, and like kimchi and shit, like I can eat that shit all the time.
It's not bad. But I think I would pick Japanese. I would pick Thai. I would pick Indian. I would pick several things, I think, before Korean, personally.
Yeah. I think I would definitely do Thai before Korean, that's for sure.
Thai's real good. I like Thai.
The seafood selection with Thai is just kind of clinches it for me. Like me some red snapper. But Korean wings, double fried. Oh, so good. I've never had a better wing. A good dry rub is a close second, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I do that with my barbecue. My ribs.
I wasn't until I got older that I really started to like dry rub wings.
I agree. I think it is not I think kids tend to like the saucy because most of the time the saucy is kind of sweet. But I have always professed how I do all of my barbecues is always with a dry rub. I'd much prefer that with all my barbecue than
It's as Ainsley says, give your meat a good old rub. Spicy meat.
but not gas station sushi. Yeah, not gas station sushi festy. Although there is a place in the Metroplex that I know of that is in an old gas station that is some of the best sushi I have ever eaten. It was so good, but it was all redone.
Colin said, "I eat all the chocolate off first, then have a nice peanut buttery patty to eat after." So someone responded with that GIF from the Chappelle Show sketch. That's the gayest shit I ever heard.
I don't know what that even sounds gross to think about.
It's true, because I remember Colin told me that once upon a time, and I was just like, "No, you're not my friend."
Day 6 of quarantine.
Dude, those are bass.
Yeah.
They've got the black stripe on the tail.
In the tub. Gotta love it.
Yeah, that's impressive. I'm still trying to figure out why he's. Never mind. I don't want to talk about that picture anymore.
What about that?
So, Fessy, you told me about that a while back. I don't think I've ever eaten Bosnian food. He was telling me about Bosnian food. I'm like, I love food.
Bosnian
but I've
food's
never
really
tried
good.
Bosnian food.
So I've only eaten Bosnian food because the apartment my brother lived in for like a bajillion years, his neighbors downstairs were Bosnian. And so they would drop off, his neighbor's wife would just like drop off food every so often. And holy fuck, that woman can make some crepes. Just randomly one morning when I was staying there after Hurricane Sandy, dropped off like crepes and a bunch of other shit. And I was just like, I need another cup of coffee.
Also, do you need another son? Because I'm going to come hang out.
Seriously. Every time they drop off food and I was there, it was just, everything was just really good. That whole like region, bomb ass food.
I would surely try some for sure. I've just never tried it. Back to cheap sushi. Like, I don't understand people. I have eaten sushi at like Kroger. Like I've consumed it before. It's not. I don't understand why people buy it. I will buy just about everything else in that grocery store before I buy sushi. The rice is not good, and the whole point of Japanese food is the rice, and the rice sucks.
Well, I was gonna say not only that, but holy shit, the milligrams of salt on like, grocery store sushi has to be through the roof, because you pretty much can leave it out all day and it'll be fine.
So what I like, the grocery store they used to be by my old
grind.
house, they'd have a guy come in and make a batch fresh that they would keep out for like.
And they do that there too.
Like,
There's definitely a dude, and to be honest, I've actually seen a Japanese guy there doing it. But then they throw it in the refrigerated case or whatever, right? And it just ruins the whole thing. I don't understand people. I don't.
No, so the thing is, that would be my only cue to buy it that day, is if like I could tell that he was almost done with it, and as soon as he put that shit out, I was buying.
There you go. I would probably it would probably be fine then, right?
I'd come back because it was close enough. I'd come back in 20 minutes when he was done making
right.
it.
Yeah, I'd buy that. Sorry, the connection sucks, buddy. Oh, by the way, there's several people that talked about this at the beginning of the stream, saying that our show had dropped off the internet. So that's why you got to hit the subscribe and then hit that bell. Like you gotta say it like that.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
You gotta
ding
hit the bell apparently, because that does happen. And the views last week blew. They were bad. But I thought we'd be doing okay considering people are housebound and bored. If somebody's bored enough, maybe they would actually watch the show. That'd be cool. After they finish the internet. But if you are interested in electronical things, you should definitely go watch Big Clive. He's a stitch.
Yeet.
Who else have I been watching lately? That was actually some. Oh God, what's that guy's name? Steve 1989? No. What's the guy who does the MRE?
Steve MRE 1989.
Steve MRE.
Yeah.
That guy. Let's get it on a tray. Nice. That guy's great. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. And that is something I have been doing lately. I have played a few games of League, the old League of Legends. Played a few. There's some fun. There's some fun guys over there. I'm not any good. I'm not gonna be a.
Yeah, just give it a little while. You will fucking hate it.
Oh, the problem is the people.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean, dude. The last time I played League of Legends, I was in college, and there were like 12 heroes. 12 heroes.
There's like 180 or something now. There's
I
a
know.
million of them.
I know. That's why I stopped playing Overwatch, because Overwatch is going to be that way too. You fucking lame.
Yeah, and so but that's exactly why I posted in Plumes, because if I'm playing with Plumes guys, it's fine. but with the randos and their toxic garbage, it's not as much fun. I don't get on the games to get pissed on.
My nephew's off from like school this week because they're like doing the whole e-learning thing right now, but I think they're off this week and they start next week. I need his dumbass to be free to play because he's pretty good now to play Rocket League with.
Hundreds of dollars in skins. Goodness gracious. Well, good. You can carry me later. At some point, we can play.
I don't like carrying like that though.
No, I was talking about Tank. He enticed you to get a tube of sweetened condensed milk and squirt it on some decades old crackers.
Or just let it drop, fall on your tongue. You're just like, just pour a little bit out. That's all. You just need a little bit of crack. Dude, I would mainline that shit if I could.
Sure, a little dulce. Yeah, no, it's
so good.
Pretty tasty. I agree.
A Mexican restaurant we used to go to for my birthday, they give you, if it's like your birthday, they give you a free slice of dulce de leche. And they've got some bomb fucking cake there at that particular restaurant. So good.
So I think I got a video to exit with.
Okay.
Oh yeah?
Amazing. Yeah, it's a GIF.
Cool.
Let me cue it up.
Oh, I'll pin you. Pin.
Hang on. Don't pin me yet. Because I don't want it on the screen just yet. Hang on.
That's what she said.
Unpin Mass Blast. All right, there we go. It's good to know, Jimmy. It's good to know. I think next week we've got at least one video because Fu had a really good idea right before we went live. We'll have a good one to run before the show next week, I think, if we can remember to do it.
I'll find the video before then.
All right, I'm ready. This is amazing.
Pin video. All right, go.
All right, ready? This guy's the freaking best. Corona. That's pretty, dude. That you gotta come on. You gotta admit that's pretty skill.
It is pretty skill.
Doing those bottles like that upside down. Like what? I thought all of a sudden his pants were gonna go flying off. That's but
very concentrated. His eyes are very close.
See, together. That's how a squonk refiller works.
Yeah.
Big flex. All right. Where's the thing? Where's the unpen thing? There it is. Unpen. Gallery view. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on this week's Plumes of Hazard. We love you guys. Thanks for coming out. Stay safe. Socially distance yourself, right? I was driving home earlier. Please. I had to go get some food, right? For dinner right before the show. I drove past the end of my street, and there was like 30 kids all in one house's neighborhood. They're all playing. I'm like, guys, they canceled school so that you didn't spread this shit. Why are you all stacked up on top of each other? That's retarded. Jeez.
No, straight up. If I was in school, if I was of school age, I'd probably do the same fucking thing.
Would too.
I'd probably be at the park playing ball. Like,
I'm not gonna listen to the CDC when I'm that age. I know, but the parents have to be smarter than that. And the parents are all sitting out doing it.
No, you know what the kids do? They sneak out their fucking windows. We always find a way, even if the world is fucking ending.
It's true, and that's fine. but don't encourage it.
Yeah,
as
if there's like a
parents.
nuclear holocaust and if I'm like 14, I'm playing ball with my friends. I'm gonna go out like having fun.
Right. But at least your parents should just say, "Hey, this is a bad idea," and if you go do it anyway, that's on you.
It takes two to lie, one to lie, one to
Want
listen.
to listen to it. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Hit that bell. Talk to you.